instead of doing a top 25 this week, we're going to be doing our top 10 this week, just because, and let's be honest, no one's talking about Iowa making the college football playoff. So we're going to start with Tim's top 10, then go to Arthur, then go to myself. So Tim, go ahead and tell me what you got here.
I think it's kind of straightforward. 1, 2, 3, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia after A&M's big loss. And then, for the most part, I basically just moved everybody up a spot. I got Ole Miss sitting at number 4, even with Lane Kiffin's departure. I think that's going to be the biggest question mark, I think, of this college football playoff. I'd be happy to talk more about that after this. But then I moved Oregon up, jumped them a few spots to number 5. And then I got Texas Tech at 6. A&M at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Bama at 9, and then rounded off, I got Notre Dame at 10, and just because I do want to say this, Vanderbilt's at 11.
That's fair. And by the way, just for those that are watching, because I know Tim and Arthur are going to assume, I promise I did not just only do top 10 just to exclude Vanderbilt, because Tim could have put Vanderbilt in if Tim could have put Vanderbilt in the top 10 if he wanted. Just get on Tim. It's Tim's fault. But listen, here's what I'll say though about your Ole Miss ranking is that, is it fair to say that all of America is Ole Miss is not winning the national championship? No. Is it fair to say all of America outside of whoever Ole Miss's playoff opponent is hoping that they win their home game in the college football playoff? Like that will be,
I think they're the easiest team to root for. No two ways about it. I mean, in terms of like a national team, having lots, I think the only fan base that is going to actively root against Ole Miss is Florida State with their whole Jordan Travis affair. And,
sure.
The fact that Ole Miss now just lost Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss is sitting pretty, not playing this weekend. And, they're the number 5, number 6 team. So
that's only reason, the main reason why I don't like comparing these two is because one's a player, one's a coach. One of them actually has to go out there and play. Right.
Listen,
so
yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more. It's just, I will say this. There were people, now I don't know if this is just people, fans on Twitter or if this, truly happened, but I think Lane Kiffin, when Ole Miss played Florida, I think that first half of the game, Lane Kiffin put all the play calling on his coaches. I think he was just kind of standing there, kind of preparing them for his inevitable departure. And then in the second half, when things were tight between Florida and Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's like,
yank that play sheet out of their hands.
Just give it to me. Let's go. And let's run. And then they ended up kicking our ass. So again, don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying if that is, I think it does, show a little bit of an effect that Lane Kiffin has. But at the end of the day, again, I think that, Ole Miss has more of a right to be in this 12-team playoff than Florida State not having Jordan Travis being in that 14 playoff. I still stand by that to this day, even though they were undefeated. They were a totally different team.
I couldn't agree with you more. And go ahead, Arthur.
The way that America has really come together, bro, sports just does this, right? When we're going through shit, sports just finds a way to bring America together. And the fact that America has been brought together to just bash Lane Kiffin's name and hate on LSU and just pray for their immediate downfall.
LSU is such an easy team to hate, though. Let's be honest.
That's also true. That is also very true, which is very unfortunate because they have arguably the greatest collegiate football team of all time, right? But it's like, dag on, man. Like, what?
What? Greatest football team of all time? LSU.
2019, Burrow, Chase.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's
what I thought you were talking about. Like
no, not 2025.
Logo, history.
That's on me. I should have been. I should have gone deeper into it with me saying that. Yeah. But nah, man, it sucks, and I feel for those players. And what I also love, listen, I understand it, but what I also love, these players are not letting him get away with anything. Hey, Lane Kiffin talking about, hey, I said this and did that. Players are like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
They're coming after on social media. Safe to say those guys are not transferring to LSU. To say the very least, he's not taking a ton of players to LSU. I respect the players for that.
But they got their OC coaching, so that's
that's an awkward situation, isn't it? If the players you're leaving to go to Clay, I don't know. That's God, that is the most fascinating team to watch in the first round. There's no question. Arthur, go and put up your top 10. What do you have?
Ohio State, IU, best two teams right now in college football playoff. There's no arguing that. Georgia, I gotta have them up there. Ole Miss, again, that's the biggest question mark. That's the biggest team that right now everybody is really rooting for. Just get that first round win. Are they going to win the whole thing? No, but we will really like to see the Rebels get a win after the drama they've had to experience, not of their own fault. Right, the players went out on the field and they played. This is totally on Coach Lane Kiffin, who, before all this, I had a whole lot of respect for. Great guy. It looked like he was really building something. There's nothing wrong with leaving, right? There is nothing wrong with leaving. It's how you leave. It's the same thing with the breakup. There's nothing wrong with a breakup. It's how you break up. It's how you go your separate ways. Nobody loves leaving with a sour taste in their mouth. Nobody loves leaving with, bad blood and history and all that. And right now, there's just clearly a lot of bad blood brewing between this Ole Miss team and Coach Lane Kiffin. I get it. It's not pretty. Lane Kiffin had his gripes with Ole Miss, but dog, you're coaching your players, right? And your players are playing for you. Forget the fans, forget the support, forget all that. You coach the guys that's going on the field. The guys that are on the field are playing for the coach. It's that simple. I believe it's that simple. I haven't played. I didn't play, right? I'm not on that level, so I wouldn't know, but I believe it's that simple. Oregon, I have them at number 5 rounded now. Texas Tech, I have at number 6. I believe that they are, possibly a top 4, top 5 team. I know that some people have them ranked that high, but dude, I'm just trying to be fair here, right? I'm just trying to be fair. Because the one thing I would hate is for Texas Tech to lose today, right? And then it's just like, dang, okay. Then it's like, where do we put Texas Tech, right? They were in that top 4 spot, and it's like, I want to try to be as fair as I possibly can be to Texas Tech. Texas A&M. Listen, when Marcel Reed got hit and he went down, I had a feeling they weren't coming back and winning that game. Marcel Reed did not look like Marcel Reed. Now, yes, he still had more passing yards than Arch, but it was the same thing with the previous weekend or however long ago when they played South Carolina. He just didn't look like himself in that first half. And, man, when you go down with the type of hit that he went down with, it's just like it didn't look good. It really didn't look good. And for me, I would have been like, listen, man, I understand we really want to win this game. It's our rival. It's the Texas Longhorns. It's Arch Manning. But, dog, we have playoff aspirations. We want to win a national championship. We're going to let you just this one now. Right? We don't make the SEC championship. Oh, well. The most important thing right now is us winning a national championship. That's what I would have done with Marcel Reed. I wouldn't have had him play the rest of that game. I have Oklahoma at number 8. I have Alabama at number 9. And I have biggest question mark of this top 10 probably is Notre Dame at number 10. I felt very confident as a top 10 team. Right, number 9, Alabama. I believe also another one right there to where it's like, dang, if y'all lose, again, playoff implications may not be that bad, but it's still a thing of where it's like, if I'm Alabama, I'm going out and I'm saying, forget the committee. I'm not going to put this in the committee's hands. If we win, if we lose, no, we're going to go out here and we're going to beat the Georgia Bulldogs in this SEC championship game.
When you were talking about Texas A&M and Marcel Reed, I couldn't help but think, like, and we could do this with just about all of these teams, how close A&M was to missing the play. If you talk about week 2 against Notre Dame, when Tim has brought up all season, they got some officiating breaks on their side. And then the South Carolina come back. If they lose to South Carolina, they're done. Like, if they lose to South Carolina and Texas to end the season, they're out. Like, now Miami versus Notre Dame's not even a question.
There have been too many close calls to where it's like I'm not as confident in this A&M team. And that South Carolina game, dog. Bro, come on, man. Like that was bad. Like that was real bad. And Marcel Reed has been playing very well all season. There are just times when you have this game early on in the season. You don't have this game late, right? Yep. You did against Texas, man. He also was hurt, right? But you have those type of injuries, and you hope to have that stuff early on in the season because it's too late in the season to where these things matter, right? It's more than just about situational football. Everything matters. Ohio State was going with it. That's why Cardinal Tate was out. That's why Jeremiah Smith was out. Health is important. Health wins, dog. Defense wins championships. Great teams win championships. Yada, yada, yada. Health wins championships, man. The healthiest team, 99.99999% of the time wins. That's just the reality of the situation.
And again, if you remember, Texas A&M kind of fell apart at the end of last year too. Like I remember going into week 13, I think it was, they had a shot to make the SEC championship game. Then they lost to Auburn. Then they lost to Texas. And all of a sudden, their season's over. So like they have a little bit of a history of kind of limping to the finish line, so to speak. But I agree with you. Any chance they have is going to hinge on the health of Marcel Reed. There's no
all I can say is shout out to the SEC shorts where they have one of their characters with the maroon T-shirt on that says "Battered Aggie Syndrome." That's the thing about Texas A&M. I mean, come on, it's already a foregone conclusion, kind of. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're going to have, in all likelihood, a home field advantage, which is huge for them at Kyle Field. That's one of the craziest environments in college football. It's going to help them a ton. Like, I think if it were to end today, it would be them versus Oklahoma, which wouldn't that be hilarious? Former Big 12 teams in the SEC playing in the playoff. Like, the landscape has changed in this sport, to say the very least. I'll go and put it in my top 10 list right here. Again, it's not that dissimilar from the rest of the guys on here. I've got Ohio State number 1, Indiana number 2, or Georgia number 3. I've liked Oregon all season. I think they're well coached. Dan Ling's outstanding. I think Oregon can win a national championship. Texas Tech's at number 5. Again, they've dominated the competition. Let's see what they do today against BYU. Obviously, if they win, they'll not only be in, but they'll almost certainly be a top 4 seed in the playoff. Ole Miss is at 6. Again, the loss of Lane Kiffin, but I love what Trinidad Chambliss has done at quarterback. The fact that these teams, there's kind of these players, there's kind of going to be an opportunity for them to kind of rally around each other, like every man, for one another type of situation. And I think Ole Miss is kind of going to be the darling of the college football playoff. Again, I just talked about A&M. There were a lot of close calls for them this season. Fortunately for them, they're probably grateful that they did not make the SEC championship game. They're like, hey, we're good. We need a week off. We need a few weeks to kind of recharge, recalibrate Mike Elko and see what we got to do. Oklahoma's at number 8. Listen, that is one of the best defenses in college football, and I pity whoever has to play them in the first round. It's probably going to end up being A&M. Notre Dame at number 9. Again, I'm in the minority that thinks Notre Dame's just better than Miami and better than Alabama. Alabama, I know the close game against Auburn, a lot of folks are like, yeah, weird things happen. I've said it all year. Weird things happen at Auburn when the Iron Bowl concludes there every other year. I get that. At the same time, Notre Dame, winners of 10 straight. Jeremiah Love, one of the 3 or 4 best players in all of college football. CJ Carr, as Tim brought up earlier, has gotten better and better over the course of the season. And I'm sorry, I do give them and I know it's obviously not the same team as last year, but obviously it's the same coach. I do give them some leeway the fact that they were the national championship runner-up. I mean, that stuff matters to me. What does your playoff history tell you? Ty Simpson wasn't great in the month of November. Had some kind of hiccups here and there against Oklahoma. So that's what I got as far as my top 10. But what we do know for sure, and then I'll move to the Vol View. What we do know for sure, and I'm sure to your chagrin, Tim, Tulane's pretty much in. Tulane is in the college football playoff because it's – and that's God's tough.
I don't like it. I know I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't. Virginia, I'm happy for y'all if y'all win. I don't like it. I really don't. I think it's idiot. Dog, come on, man. Just come on. It's like Tim said. Listen, I love March Madness because of Cinderella stories. I really, really do. Right now, listen, the biggest Cinderella story that I would be perfectly okay with is Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores. But they have played their way to that. They've played their way to that. The Virginia Cavaliers, no. I'm sorry, no. Tulane, hey, listen, the second the head coach said, hey, a lot of stuff got to be going on for us to be talked about that. I would have been like, you know what? Nah, sorry, we're not doing this conference championship stuff. We as the committee, we apologize to college football fans. And no, it is unequivocally going to be the top 12 teams that we believe deserve to be in there. The college, the conference championship game. No, it don't matter that much. We're probably going to just have to just do away with it and say, hey, just get to top 12. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do away with conference. But come on, man.
3 Big Ten teams.
So not even Texas Tech you think should get in, Tim? Texas Tech's good. I mean, like I have no issue with them.
If you play your way to it, that's how I look at it.
Texas Tech, the one exception.
Sure.
But ultimately, yeah, this is the problem. Again, ultimately, this is the problem with college football. It's basically the SEC versus the Big Ten. I'm sorry. Yes. That is just straight facts. And I get people want to be like, ESPN and the SEC are in bed, and that's why they're at the SEC championship and not the Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship, even though it's 1 and 2. I get it. But at the same time, if you are honest with yourself, if you are not a fan of one of the top Big Ten schools or basically any SEC school, and you're a fan of every other school or whatever, be honest with yourself. Who are the best teams in college football? They come from the South and they come from the Big Ten. That's it, with one exception, and that right now is Texas Tech. And it's
don't disagree with you at all.
Like that's and people want to say that's there's a bias. Yes and no. Like if you look at the talent, I'm sorry, Vanderbilt would stomp Tulane. Vanderbilt would stomp any ACC team, any of them, Miami included. Like it's not even a question that Vanderbilt has more right to be in this college football playoff than any other school, basically. You know?
And I would, we maybe need to do this segment and then we'll go to the Vol View, but we may need to do this segment where we just go draft by draft, like the last 15 years, and just count Big Ten and SEC players versus everybody else. And I mean, like I'm sorry that the talent gap that matters. Like some teams just have better football players. It's that simple.
Caleb Downs was recently in an interview, and he talked about this same thing, to where it's like SEC, you're playing dudes every week. In the Big Ten, you know what I'm saying, you're playing high school probably guys. And it sucks to say, right? It really does suck to say that, but it's the truth. And again, I didn't like the Ohio State schedule this year after playing Texas, right? Penn State, I was really hoping that would be more of a competition. I was upset I didn't see Oregon. I was upset I didn't see Iowa. I mean, not Iowa, IU, right? Michigan, that's a rivalry. So it's going to be getting better and better, especially as Julian Sayin and Bryce Underwood continue to progress, right? But it's one of those things to where it's like Tim said, man, it's the SEC and the Big Ten, right? And even with the Big Ten, it's only 3 schools, right? It's Ohio State, it's IU, and it's Oregon. As Michigan gets better, it's going to be Michigan. Penn State can easily get themselves back into there. Other than that, there's nobody else. Nobody's going to Nebraska, right? Nobody's going to Minnesota, Northwestern, right? Again, all respect to those guys. Maryland has been sneaky good. Maryland still no. Like,
well, and think about it this way. Indiana came in this year. Last year, it was Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan. Like the Big Ten, it's basically like the Sith. You only have a
master and an apprentice.
The master and apprentice. Yep. That's it. That's the same thing with the Big Ten. It's 3 schools. It's Ohio State, it's Oregon, and then it switches year after year. Michigan, Indiana, so on and so forth. So that, again, like I feel bad as a college football fan. I feel bad in saying this, but it's the objective truth that it's the SEC, it's the Big Ten. And people want to say, oh, Clemson. Okay, look who Clemson had to play during their big years when they were going to the national championship and winning. It was Miami, trash. Florida State, trash. Like, those were it. Those are the only competitions in their own conference. So, Arthur, like you were saying, you felt bad because Ohio State, were they really tested this year? Sort of, not really. But again, that's no fault of Ohio State. That's just the fault of the conference and how piss poor week it is. Same thing with Clemson during the heydays. Yeah, they came out and they beat Alabama, which was, holy cow, somebody actually did that. But going into the playoff all year long, Clemson had an easy road. It's not like the ACC was full of any talent. So again, it's one of those situations where, as much as we want to sit here and say, yeah, let's have all the conference winners in, Duke could be one of those teams at 7-5.
Dude,
and then the ACC, would the ACC even have somebody then? Would the ACC
they might get left out entirely. Like that is a very, very real possibility. It would take Duke winning today, but that is very much on the board.